The first time the Galactic Empress saw me, she froze mid-sentence. Thousands of diplomats stood inside the silver throne chamber of the Imperial Citadel. Alien nobles whispered among themselves. Soldiers lined the walls with plasma rifles ready. And at the center of it all, the most powerful woman in the galaxy stared directly at the faded scar on my neck like she'd seen a ghost. Her golden eyes widened. Then her voice cracked. "Where did you get that mark?" Every guard in the room instantly raised their weapons at me. I slowly lifted my hands. "I was born with it," I answered carefully. The Empress stepped down from her throne so quickly the entire chamber fell silent. "No," she whispered. "That's impossible." She stopped inches away from me, trembling. Then, to everyone's horror, the ruler of 12,000 star systems reached toward my neck with shaking fingers. When she touched the scar, tears filled her eyes immediately. "I know this mark," she whispered. The chamber erupted in confusion. The Imperial Council began shouting over each other. "Your Majesty, step away from the human! He could be a spy! Security!" But the Empress ignored them all. She looked at me like she was seeing someone she'd lost a lifetime ago. Then she asked the question that changed my life forever. "What was your mother's name?" My throat tightened. "Anna Carter." The Empress staggered backward. One of her advisors caught her before she fell. "No," she whispered again. "It can't be." I had no idea what was happening. I was just a cargo pilot from Earth. 3 days earlier, I'd been hauling damaged mining equipment through the outer colonies when Imperial forces seized my ship and dragged me here without explanation. Now the most feared ruler in the galaxy looked like she was about to break apart in front of everyone. Finally, she dismissed the entire throne room. Every noble protested. Every guard hesitated. But one cold glance from the Empress cleared the chamber in seconds. When the massive doors finally closed, only the two of us remained. For a long moment, she simply stared at me. Then she spoke softly. 23 years ago, before I became Empress, I visited Earth in secret." I frowned. "What?" "Your world had just survived first contact riots. Most species viewed humans as violent primitives." Her voice shook slightly. "But I was curious about your people." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. She continued. "One night, my convoy was attacked outside a refugee zone in Old Tokyo. My guards were killed. I was injured." She looked down. "And a human woman saved me." My chest tightened. "My mother." The Empress nodded slowly. "She hid me for 3 days in her apartment, while assassins searched the district." A small, broken smile appeared on her face. "She treated me like family even after learning I wasn't human." I couldn't speak. The Empress reached into the folds of her white royal robes and removed a tiny silver pendant. I froze instantly. I recognized it. Because I owned the other half. With trembling hands, I pulled the broken pendant chain from beneath my shirt. The pieces matched perfectly. The Empress covered her mouth as tears rolled down her face. "She kept it," she whispered. "My mother told me it belonged to a woman she once protected," I said quietly. "Before she died, she told me if I ever met the owner, I should return it." The mighty ruler of the galaxy broke completely. She fell to her knees in front of me. Not as an empress. Not as a conqueror. Just as someone remembering the only person who had once saved her when she was scared and alone. "You have her eyes," she whispered through tears. I stood there frozen while the most powerful being in existence cried quietly in front of me. Then she looked up at me and said the words that shocked me more than anything else that day. "Your mother didn't just save my life." Her voice cracked. "She saved the entire galaxy." I stared at her. "What do you mean?" The Empress wiped her tears slowly. Back then, I believed humans were dangerous, primitive, violent. She gave a weak laugh. My advisors wanted Earth sterilized before your species became spacefaring. Ice flooded through my veins. But your mother changed my mind, she continued. Her kindness stopped a war before it ever began. The room went silent again. Billions of humans had never known they were one political decision away from extinction. And the reason humanity survived was because one ordinary woman chose to help a frightened stranger. The Empress stepped closer and gently closed my fingers around the pendant. I spent 23 years searching for her, she whispered. My throat tightened painfully. You're too late. She nodded sadly. I know. For a moment neither of us spoke. Then the Imperial alarms suddenly blared across the palace. Red warning lights flooded the chamber. The Empress's expression instantly hardened. An officer's voice echoed through the citadel. Emergency alert! Unknown fleets entering Imperial space! Another voice shouted seconds later. They're headed for Earth. The Empress turned toward the stars outside the palace window. Her eyes became cold with fury. Who are they? The officer answered with visible fear. The Vorlax Dominion. Every blood vessel in my body turned cold. Even humans knew that name. The Vorlax didn't conquer worlds. They erased them. The Empress slowly looked back at me. And for the first time, the ruler of the galaxy bowed her head to a human. I failed to repay my debt to your mother, she said quietly. Then her eyes burned like fire. But I will not fail her son. She turned toward the war room doors. Prepare the Imperial fleet. Thousands of warships awakened across the galaxy. Because someone had threatened Earth. And the Empress had just remembered. Humanity